Good afternoon. Welcome to the October 24th, 2023 Oklahoma City Economic Development Trust meeting. I'll now call the meeting to order. First item, or item 2 on the agenda, is approval of minutes from the September 26th, 2023 trust meeting. We can take a motion. We have a motion and a second. Please vote. The item passes. Item 3 on the agenda is the ratification of claims. If there are no questions or comments, we can take a motion for approval. We have a motion and a second. That item passes as well. Brings us to item 4, items for individual consideration. Item 4A is Economic Development Agreement with Defiant Vanity LLC for a film incentive agreement not to exceed $25,931. Mr. Sudol?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So yeah, this was the Economic Development Agreement following the approval of this project allocation happened by this body and City Council in July. So it's film incentive $25,931. It's a film to be released in 2024. It's got a production budget of $650,000 with an estimated economic impact of $1.2 million. So this meets all the items and follows our formula, and 75% of the filming will be in Oklahoma City.
Great. Any questions from Mr. Sudol? If not, we can take a motion. With a motion and a second, the item passes. Item 4B on the agenda is change order number 1 to project MB-1540 Myriad Gardens Crystal Bridge renovation, increase of $209,335. Mr. Sudol.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This one is a previous item, I think from 2020. There was funds allocated from TIF 2 and TIF 8 to fund some renovations on the Crystal Bridge. During the renovation process, some additional damage was discovered, so this is really just a change order for the $209,335 that replaces some 8 center rows of acrylic paneling and 2 rows of upper vents. So, and I believe this is being funded through other sources, is that correct?
Yeah, this is not OSEED funding, it's just increasing the contract authority so that they can pay on the insurance claim.
Great. Any comments, questions? All right, we can take a motion. Please vote. And the item passes. Item 4C on the agenda is amended memorandum of agreement between the Oklahoma City Economic Development Trust and the City of Oklahoma City for ancillary infrastructure. Mr. Sudol.
I'm going to summarize this one for you all.
Sorry.
That's okay. We had an allocation that was approved back in August of 21 for $500,000 for ancillary infrastructure. This is for things like alleyway improvements, minimal water line connections, some of those small things that we see developments need. Then following that, November of 21, we had a memorandum of agreement come before you for 3 alleyway improvements. Since that time, we've seen some increased costs. We had some delays to one of the projects, which caused some pretty substantial increases. I've got a table on the back of the memo that kind of summarizes. Essentially, this increases the funding from the trust by about $80,000 to finish out one of those remaining alleyways. We did take one offline because there's a development in place. This is the alleyway that's south of the Kong's restaurant where they're doing the new development there. So we're going to take that out of play right now and then maybe come back later once the development is finished.
Great. Any questions? If not, we can, yes.
Do we think we'll need to do that alley with their development?
I think we'll have to wait and see when the development's finished and kind of see what they improve during the development and maybe what's left to do.
Show them what you want.
Yeah, yeah. Let's work together. We are working with them because they knew that was on our list. So.
All right, we can take a motion on 4C. Please vote. That item passes as well. Item 4D on the agenda is a resolution approving the revised terms of Oklahoma Industry Authority's sale of 6.55 acres of Site H of the 577 acres property. Mr. Sudol.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. So really, this is just to correct a Scrivener's error. This was an item that had been originally approved at 10 acres. The deal changed to reduce the size. We got the wrong acreage. It was the item we brought to you before was 6.11. It's 6.55. All the other terms of the deal are the same. The purchase price, the amount of money received, just needed to correct that acreage amount.
If we don't have any questions or comments, we can take a motion. Please cast your votes. Item 4D passes as well. Item 4E on the agenda is to approve and authorize the chairman to execute collateral assignment of development and financing assistance agreement with the Harlow LLC. Mr. Sudol.
Yes, sir. So this one, as you recall, was the economic development agreement was approved back in August, and this is just kind of a standard financing mechanism to allow assignment of some of these things as they're doing their financing. I believe it's one that's going through Bank First. It's a $40 million construction loan, so we need to do these assignments, pretty standard stuff.
Any questions from Mr. Sudol? Good. All right, if not, we can take a motion. We have a motion and a second. Please vote. And the item's passed. Brings us to item 4F on the agenda. This is a joint resolution acknowledging the American Indian Cultural Center Foundation's legal name change to First Americans Museum Foundation. Mr. Sudol.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So on this one, it is just a resolution that acknowledges this name change. So the legal entity has not changed, but we have contracts with this entity, and it's just an acknowledgement that the name has changed to the First Americans from American Indian.
Any comments or questions from Mr. Sudol? If not, we can take a motion. We have a motion and a second. Please vote. The item passes. Item 4G on the agenda is Oklahoma City Economic Development Trust regular meeting schedule for 2024.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So this is just the normal approval of the calendar for next year. You know, we normally put this meeting on the last council date in the month, with the exception being December, so that we don't get this on top of the holidays. So that's the only one that's out of the ordinary.
Great. Any comments, questions, problems with the schedule? If not, we can take a motion. We have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes. And the item passes. Brings us to item 5 on the agenda, General Manager's Report. Ms. McSpadden?
I don't have anything specific to point out, but happy to answer questions if you have any.
She used to be so good.
Yeah. I know. She used to be up there all the time. Now she just sits down.
I've got Kenny now.
Thank you. All right, item 6 on the agenda. Any comments from staff? No? Trustees? Any citizens signed up to speak? No, that brings us to item 7 on the agenda. We are adjourned.
Thank you.
3:10.